How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I am your host, Cosmic Ray. So I wanted to say, first of all, if you are new to my channel, I just want to say thank you very much, for your love and for your support and your contributing and contributions, if you will, to the collective, and something for me to you. I just wanted to kind of just say, thank you from the bottom of my heart, for all that you do. I do use the candle divination to kind of help speak my truth, to get in tune with my higher self, to kind of show also divination work as well, to kind of show you that this is actually real and that this stuff can actually work. I do like to keep everything kind of like more shadowy, if you will. I know that's kind of somewhat dramatic, but it's more of like, it's not necessarily what I look like. It's more of the story or the message. In this particular instance, the message that I'm kind of coming across that's more important, to you. So obviously, if there's something you really need to see what I look like, I have other videos that actually show, in light, what I look like. But like I said, it's not a big deal. I'm no one. So now what I will say though, um, I had a odd experience like just recently. Now, I'm not necessarily like a jerk or anything like that, but if I was out running and all sweaty and whatnot, I usually don't like to try like meet people and talk to them because I probably stink. I'm out of breath and and sweating. I don't want to shake hands when my hands all wet and clammy or whatever you want to call it, right? And who wants to meet someone like that, right? Um, it was just kind of odd because as I was running and I didn't never seen these new neighbors I had, and I was trying to run past them. And you know what? I don't know. I may do like maybe two parts to this type of story because it might be kind of long. So um, it's really awesome though. So as I was running, I saw someone coming out of my next door neighbor's house, and I never had to meet the new neighbors. I kind of like did the whole like, hey, kind of thing, but never actually like, shook hands. And I was timing myself during this run, so I was trying to hurry. Got into my house, opened up the door, and something just told me to, and I did the whole like this kind of thing. It was someone new, so it was just one of those things where I try to hurry. I hit the time on my phone, just kind of stop the lap, or if you will, and to see what time I ran, which was good. Anyways, I ran back outside. I'm like, oh hey, are you my new neighbor? And they're like, oh no, I'm your neighbor's son. I'm like, oh okay, and starting to try to talk to this person, and it was very unique because usually, even if I was gonna go out, like I said, I'm not like a jerk or anything. I did want to meet them, so I was like, hey, you're my new neighbor. They're like, oh no, I'm your neighbor's son. I was just, I really was just kind of do like a, hey, how's it going? Hey, just glad to meet you. Welcome to the neighborhood. Peace. Gotta go, right? Because I had work and everything. Like I said, I was sweating, tired. Running many miles, so I'm just tired, right? And as I'm doing this, something just told me to, you have to talk to this person. You have to introduce yourself. You have to talk to this person. Just do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Now, when I tell you cosmic surfers, so that you get this as well. Not like you get this, like you understand, but I mean, like if this happens to you, in a sense. It's not like some other voice like, hey, you got to talk to them, and you're like hearing weird voices, right? And it's not necessarily, it's not like that, but it's just something, just this instinct, just go out there, go talk to them. So when I did that, right, no joke. Like I said, usually it'd be like really quick. Let me meet you. Gotta go. Peace. Okay. I was out there for about an hour, hour and a half. I never have done something like this, and I was talking to them, and wow, I know I said before the whole point of this is try to like get connections, to people, to find, their own even beliefs, even if it's different from yours, to kind of just understand, just whatnot, and this whole collective consciousness to try to meet together, right? And just to kind of understand each other. And I learned a lot from this random person that I never knew. Probably would never have known if I didn't, went out there, but I did. So let me kind of tell you a little bit slightly story. So this person is a name Uriah, and I know it's like biblical. I don't know much about it, besides something about like something like David's army and how this is like a one person's like. Well, anyways, you know what? It's not that big, not a big deal. I don't need a kind of side story. Anyways, this person's name is Uriah, great gentleman, and just talking to him about like just different things. Now, of course, an empath, people just kind of just open up their heart to you and just they start talking. And whether or not you're ready for it, you're like, oh snap, like what is okay, tell me your life story now. Um, it went from like him just randomly talking like, oh, your heart, you guys should, start walking around and, don't try to stop and just kind of like walk around and let your blood flow. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I wasn't trying to be a blank bag or anything, but like, I know all this stuff, right? I was just trying to time myself, and he didn't know all this, but I told him later. Um, and it was one of those things where, he was kind of telling me stuff already, because I've been working out since like fifth grade elementary school, and so like like I kind of knew like everything he was telling me, so I'm like it was cool. I wasn't trying to be a dick or anything to him, but I was just like, oh well, thank you, and literally went from something like that to talking about spirituality, started talking about what I like to talk about, time, talking about the cosmos, talking about um, I was even talking about synchronistic moments. We started talking about just random things, and I was just blown away. Talking about meditation, grounding, chakras. Wow, and this wasn't all from me. This was like a lot of it from him, and I was just like, wow, no way. Like of course, people say when you look at someone, sometimes you judge them automatically, or whatever the case, and didn't know. And when I was young, I didn't know. I didn't meet anyone who was part of the, I guess, Christian faith that was like that at all. They just kind of tell me their beliefs in God and that everyone else is, going to hell kind of thing. And my apologies if I just offended you. I am very sorry, because I know that's not necessarily what you are about. But that was like my childhood growing up that people would tell me, right? Knock on my door and whatnot. And it was cool. But it was just one of those moments where I'm like, oh, okay, okay, no big deal. But for him, he was just started telling me about a lot of different things. And I was shocked, like, wow, okay, there we go. Maybe I needed to meet him for a reason, right? So we started, spitballing ideas, started talking about different things. I told him a little bit about my awakening story, which I feel back 'cause I know I haven't shared that with you all, but like I said, it's kind of a two-part story. So, I just gave him like a little glimpse of what happened to me, and he was like, yes, that kind of happens. And he's like, I see, why you felt this way and why this happened to you. And it was weird, as if someone I randomly knew just like had some just random answers for me, and it not necessarily mean I have to believe him, but it was one of those that it resonated, kind of made sense, and especially to meet someone randomly, that kind of shares somewhat like a similar type of story, at least background, from myself, and that was a very beautiful moment for me. And we talk about many different things, so who knows, maybe I might make a collection out of this particular stuff. But one thing I am guided to kind of tell you about, I mean, like I said, we talked about a lot of stuff where I was like, oh, this is interesting, this is interesting. But one thing I'm guided right now, this moment of time, that I want to talk about is, we were talking about synchronicity. And I know I've talked to you all about synchronistic moments and whatnot, but the thing is that when I was talking about synchronicity, he was talking about deja vu. And he in a sense couldn't really explain fully about deja vu, but after us spitballing, something just like kind of came into me, in which I'm going to share with you right now. So when we're talking about deja vu, and of course I'm sure everyone, you already know, sometimes you get like these moments of like you feel like you've already been in this moment before, or you're replaying something you already did, or you feel like you just did something that's like happening right before your eyes. You're like, well, wait a minute, because I just did this, or something just happened, or like, wow, I think I've, like, did I dream about this? Did like I swear like I've been in this moment, you guys know deja vu, right? And there's like different. I don't know if you knew, but there's actually something else, like a different kind of deja vu also, which right now, of course, I can't think about it, but there's another deja vu type moments that are out there too, and it's not called deja vu, but it's very close to that. Anyways, I'm not talking about that at the moment, but what I'm going to talk about is when he was talking about deja vu, and I was getting these moments. It was just like something. Hold on, sorry. Woo! Just thank you right now, spirits. I'm sorry. I just feel like this just energy right now. I don't know. It's like it just wants to come out. Sorry. So the way he was talking about with deja vu, and he's like, I don't really know why we get these deja vu moments. And in my head, I'm like, well, I wasn't talking about deja vu. I was talking about synchronistic moments. This is slightly actually different. I kind of educated him a little bit, on it, or enlightened him on it. And but anyways, like, so when he was talking to me about deja vu, talking about time, I started having these moments of, wow, I'm starting to understand maybe these deja vu moments that we're having is maybe it's us, in different times, different realities, stuff that we've already actually have been through before. Not necessarily in this moment, in this reality. See, like 10 minutes ago, I thought I was going to do a video on this. Oh, here I am. Nothing like that. But more of, like maybe a year ago, I was in this moment, right? Maybe something beforehand, or maybe you've quantum leaped into different realities, different multi-dimensional. Since we are multi-dimensional, there are moments where I feel like we've been in this. Oh, I'm gonna have to say it. The anything but one reality of life. The times where I mentioned where sometimes you feel like you're just jumping consciousnesses, if you will, of yourself, different, I guess, time, different reality, different, yeah, different parallel universe, different, yeah, yes, right, okay, so, sorry, I'm feeling it right now. Okay, so there's type of those moments where deja vu, I feel, not necessarily like the whole glitch in the matrix. It can be, right? Glitch in the simulation, this is all simulation, so that kind of makes sense. But also too, it's moments where you have lived this before. Your other version of yourself, has your other multidimensional self. Like it could be the actual version of you who maybe you're the cosmic ray in your in your reality or whatnot. And you're multidimensional being, just know that you are energy. You are more than what your physical self is trying to lead on, to. You are, like, in a sense, gods. You are divine. We are just infinite. So the you don't give yourself enough power. You don't give yourself enough, I guess, credit, but it's not necessarily credit. You don't really give yourself enough importance, because you are. And that's why you're powerful manifestors, powerful co-creators in this universe. So please give yourself more, I guess, credit. I don't want to say credit, but just more of that divinity, because you are. So with that being said, this whole deja vu moments, it's where it doesn't have to always be like this for everyone, but when you find your truths in this particular reality or lifetime or existence or incarnate, you'll start to realize this, that there are times where you are jumping into a different, I don't want to say dimension because people start thinking Twilight Zone type of thing, but different type of realities where everything's still almost the same thing up until the moment it's been switched. Everything's almost the same. It's almost identical. Except for like maybe one particular thing. Maybe you might see little tiny things, but it's not that big of a deal to you, to like the one thing. And then you start having these moments of like, I swear I've been this before. My version of myself, like, is there just one particular higher self in me that's trying to go into all the versions of me to try to just fix or update or give that version of yourself, like the physical, ego self, the like the uplifted version of you or the downloaded version of you or the updated 2.0 or whatever you want to call it, version of you, the upgraded self, so whatever is you feel, or that version of you is, I guess, whatever, not in the right direction, you're just changing it, changing it, changing it, changing it every single time. And and I don't want to, for some other people who do have some type like mental disorders, I don't want to start like giving you more potion to something that's, that could start making you like fall to like this stair, was it like the whole staircase, kind of thing, this spiral staircase. I don't want you to start going down anything like bad. So I don't want to like really tap in or give you any credit, for that, or or any fuel to that. But for those of you who are spiritual and kind of start understanding what I'm talking about with quantum realities, quantum entanglement, just in general, just about quantum mechanics, quantum physics. It's just one of those things you start to realize. You could technically, in a sense, jump to different dimensions or different parallel universes of yourself. This universal lifetime is infinite. It is infinite. So there's so many different realities, like millions of different versions, almost in a sense, infinite, not millions, sorry, infinite, realities of you. So, if there are, you have to realize that there are a lot of moments where everything can actually be almost identical to what you're living right now, up until this moment, that moment, that moment, right? Where everything could have been the same. Even you watching this video of this, this, and this, different type of things that happen. Everything could be the same, and you don't even notice a difference. You may not even notice a difference at all until the one thing that you actually care about, where something just changes, and your ego self starts telling you, "Oh, well, it's just them changing their mind. If you will, it's just changing their vision of stuff." But it's not necessarily that. If you really can deep dive, into that, um, when you start to realize, which version you're in, you start to realize everything's the same except for the one thing you care about necessarily. It could be something small, it could be something big, it could be something, I said this before, where you may feel someone has like one political party kind of thing. Yeah, I didn't really want to get into there, but say one political party example. Say, and this is, I'm not trying to do one of these like speeches, so I'm sorry. So if I like offend someone in some party, like whatever, and I'll get. I'm not trying to do that on purpose. So let's just say if you're like, I don't know, like whatever. Say if like you're a Democrat or something, and the person you're with or whatever, your family member or whatever it is, you start to notice, that thing that you notice, if it's like a person that's like a Democrat or something, and then all of a sudden they switch to Republican, you'll notice a difference. You're like, what? Like, what's going on? Or if they're Republican, they switch to Democrat, you're like, what? And you're a Republican too, and you're like, well, what's going on? Or certain things like their viewpoint, like something was so passionate about, and all of a sudden just changed. Like, what? Like just all of a sudden. Don't get me wrong, the kid be having a spiritual awakening too, because that sometimes happens. But where their perception of life changes, and that's different too. So you have to know the difference. Like I said, I don't want to add fuel to the fire of anyone who just so happens to may have like a mental thing. So my apologies. I don't want to try to do that to you guys or do that to that person that that is watching this. Um, so it's just one of those things where when you start to have a good grasp of somewhat of your reality, what's going on. And I say that when I say somewhat is because obviously, what the things I talk about, I know it can be woo woo and, things you may see on YouTube and other stuff where they talk about different alternate dimensions. Of course, in itself, that sounds, somewhat crazy to other people, but to some, that this sounds actually perfectly normal because it does make sense. Um, so, with that being said, when these deja vu, can't talk, moments come out, these could be possibility, I'll just say that, versions of you having these experiences of your higher self, or your higher self is coming down and trying to change different moments, of you, or versions of you in these universes or existences, in these realities or dimensions or whatever you want to call it, that we are in, and is trying to update that version of you for whatever your path is supposed to be, or your path, or to help you along your path, or whatever that is, for you in that existence, in that time or reality in space, right? So they are doing that. And in a sense, once you start paying attention to this, you start feeling like you're the one who's jumping into these different universes, or you're doing a quantum leap. How some may feel it's like that as well. Yeah, so I don't want to get too much involved, in more of what I'm talking about with that. I can, if you want me to, more than happy to. I can give you more of an experience. Oh, I swear my higher self and spirit want me to talk more about it, but I swear I just, I don't know if it's my ego self. There's other things that are going on in my life that I don't know if this is one of those things that I'm just going to have to put a stop on. I don't want to talk about it. Um, but I know my higher self and spirit want me to. So in the sense, if you do, let me know in the comment section, please. If there's something you really that you really want to talk about. Oh, are you serious right now? Seriously? Sorry, folks. Hold on. Seriously, right now? Like, you really want me to talk about this? Oh, fuck. Seriously, like, I want more than this, and I hate to say that. I know I'm not supposed to control this, but like, I please give me somewhat more, because I feel like this is one of those things I really should just put a pause on, just put a little hold on before I go more in depth. Like, is this something I really truly need to talk about right now? At least, can I do this on another video? when I meditated on this a little bit more. Obviously, you can tell my confidence right now is a little bit lower than I wanted. Um, so now you're gonna react. All right, well, thank you. Okay, so everyone Cosmic Surfers, I'm sorry for this moment that I'm having. As you can tell, I'm battling with spirit right now, and that happens, and that's okay. You know, I have mentioned you win. I have much love for all my spirit guides, my ancestral guides. I know I went to one conversation from talking about this gentleman and into something else. Trust me, in this video, I really want to talk more, and I'm really trying so hard to keep these videos, lower, and just so you guys are able to kind of just follow along. Because I know that sometimes, it may be too much, and I don't take away your time. Everyone's busy, right? Time, right? um, there's a lot more. There's way more than this guy. Not this guy, but this gentleman that I was able to meet. Handshake and everything. And other things I start to understand with his name compared to close of. I know biblical names always seem like they're the same. A lot of them sounding, but when I found out like what I call my angel, one of my angel's names that are watching me, the name is kind of close. Yeah, so I just want to say right now, my angels, my spiritual guides, my ancestral guides, my higher self, spirit, to the Gaia, Mother Earth, to this creation consciousness, this source energy, one above all, whatever, supreme high intelligence, God, universe, whatever it is. To the spirits inside me as well. Thank you. I will go ahead and share a little. As I've already mentioned to you, we are multidimensional, infinite, immortal, spiritual beings, having like this somewhat of a moment, like ego temporary self, if you will. Yes. And, I know it seems like a game somewhat. And, this is the particular ego physical vessel bodies that we chose. So our spirits are something else. So I just wanted to say that with that being said, of being multidimensional and immortal spiritual beings, we have many abilities, and sometimes we don't know how to control these things. Sometimes it just happens, and I know it's always about control, right, and letting go. Um, some of us are not from this earth, if you will, are our first incarnate. Some of us realize that's okay too. Others are from different times. I'll just say that. Yes. Yes. Okay. Is that safe? Can I say that? I was like a little slight little. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's okay. It's a sign for me. Some of us are not from this time. Okay. I said it. I said it. Some of us are not from this time. Feel like a load off. Some of us are not from this time. Some of us are not from this reality. Some of us have been quantum jumping, quantum leaping without even knowing. Some of us have been doing different things, and some of us have been jumping different realities trying to fix. Yes, this is almost like that damn TV show. Some of us have been, trying to fix different versions of ourselves, and now are consciously aware of what we're doing now. Some of us didn't know, but now some of us are consciously aware of what's going on, and we're trying to fix things. Some of us are starting to realize why we came down here. Okay, I'm saying it. Some of us know why we came down here. Some of us know why we incarnated this lifetime. We realized things were effed up. We realized that this world was not how it was supposed to be, and we were trying to fix it. We were doing the best that we can, and this is not as easy as you think when you first incarnate into this life, and you forget everything because you have to go through this veil of forgetfulness, if you will, and you have to like almost start from scratch. Like a baby, in a sense. You don't know anything. You don't know why you incarnated. You have to figure it out, because that's this whole uplifting moment of spiritual awakening. You got to like figure things out. Life. Yes, thank you. And yes, so some of us are trying to fix this. Sometimes we're trying to fix these versions of us, because if we fix these versions of us, hopefully that will give us towards the path for everyone, each individual of us, to help with the collective of this Gaia Mother Earth, or these other planets that we try to been on. And to fix this, to uplift this, and try to make this reality the best reality. And it's really hard, and it's not as easy as everyone thinks. And this is one of those hard moments. I don't even know if I can talk about this right now. So yes, okay. So I've said it. I know you guys heard me hint, other times before, and I feel like little, little weights off my shoulder right now. But yes, okay, yes, that that's happened. There are individuals. Let's just say that individuals um, who are here. We are trying, and we are trying to do our best, uplift our hearts and minds of society, help uplift our own life condition as well as yours and ours collectively. We were trying to have a mass shift of consciousness in this reality, help awaken everyone, and we were doing our best. Some of us you have already been in contact with. Some of us may already know. Some of us are just doing our best to wake everyone up. Okay, and it's not an easy task. Some of us are trying to remember. Some of us are trying to get back to our source energy. Some of us are trying to make us better. Some of us are trying to grow out our wings, if you will. Um, some of us are really trying very hard to grow our wings. And woo! Thank goodness. Thank universe for this moment. I feel great right now. Let me just say that I just feel good right now. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I know I'm sorry to say it like that. I know I always end a little bit differently, but right now I'm kind of battling stuff internally, and I don't know if don't want to really say much more. But as you know, I do find myself a little strange and unusual, or unusually strange, however you want, because I find that's how this is supposed to be in a sense. I feel that this is something to be open. I do feel this is something where the masses and collective needs to kind of like understand this about this reality. This is always a ever-changing thing, and and you don't have to. And for all of those out there that may are watching this, and if you are troubled, just know that you don't have to believe in everything I'm telling you. Okay, I do utilize my higher self. I do talk to spirit. I do even talk in, you can see a divination work of other type of beings that are in this reality. Even some people feel are ghost, if you will. So I don't want you to get lost into this, okay? Because you have been found. You found this channel. You have found other things in this life. So just know that not all hope is gone. Just find that spirit within you. If you haven't meditated before, just try to just slow your mind, slow everything, the chatter that's inside. Okay? Don't, anything that's beautiful in spirit is not going to tell you to do bad things. Okay? Nothing in light and love and at a pureness of oneness in this consciousness is going to tell you to do bad things to someone or do bad things to yourself. Okay? No matter what you see in a movie, if you feel that's like a synchronistic thing, it's not going to tell you to do something bad or something to hurt someone else's ability to live and to understand and to grow. So just know that, okay? To all the cosmic surfers out there, with much love, peace, and no matter what kind of storms of obstacles and waves of difficulties that we rise, cosmic surfers, keep it going. Get back on that cosmic board. Keep riding those cosmic and karmic waves of life. Like I've always said, if those waves were just like this, flat and plateaued, what kind of ride would that be? We just fall down, right? So keep that in mind, keep that in spirit, breathe, enjoy the moment of life, every moment, this one and that one. Once you start to realize that and thanking the moment every time, the moment that you are right now, breathing, the moment that you have food, the moment that you have things, even though it was you who made the food or bought the food or whatever the case, it does not matter. Okay, just gratitude. Gratitude. Okay? Wow, now that was a sign for me. All right. Good night, everyone. Peace.